What's up, y'all? This is Ty. It's time for another review of my show, Power, aka Big Rich Town. 'Cause I just come from the poor. Oh, my. What? Sorry, y'all, because I said I wasn't going to sing the song this time. I said last week that I wasn't going to do it no more. But anyway, this is the season 5, and this is the 5th episode, which is titled Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Look, any excuse to sing. I'm sorry. I know, annoying, right? I told y'all don't let me sing in this. All right. Anyway, let's get right to it. This is, like I said, the 5th episode titled Happy Birthday because it's Tariq and Raina's birthday. So that's why they titled this episode Happy Birthday. At the top of the episode, we see none other than Vincent calling a meeting. It's Vincent, Teresi, it's a guy named Sammy. I think that's his name. And Vincent is pretty much talking about this shooting that happened in the last episode that we know was set up by Kanan, where they pretended to, they shot at the Italians to make it look like there was some beef with Tommy so that they could turn the Italians off from Tommy. And it worked, because Vincent is like, this story's not adding up. That shooting, what happened? So Tommy's like, well, I think it was this dude Dre. And Vincent's like, well, didn't you say you got rid of him? Didn't you say you took care of that? So you lied to me? So Tommy admits he lies, and Vincent was like, I could have helped you. But he does this thing which surprised me. He puts Tommy and Sammy on their knees, and he tells Tony Teresi, listen, you got to kill one of these two, your son or your best friend. You got to kill them. If you don't do it, we're going to take you out. So I'm like, Dad, what's going to happen here? So we see Teresi with the gun, and he doesn't choose Tommy because he can't choose Tommy because Tommy is his ticket to freedom, and he's snitching on Tommy. He's got to get that information on Tommy. So if he kills him, more than likely his deal with the feds and everything is going to blow up. So he has to keep Tommy alive. So he pulls the trigger on his friend Sammy, but there were no bullets in the gun, so it was just some kind of little mind game trick that Vincent did, and I didn't appreciate that, and I'm sure Sammy ain't appreciated either. And so now Tommy is out with the Italians. They done messed that up. He done messed it up. He's out. He's on the out. So that's a screw up. Teresi is saving face and trying to tell his friend, I knew the gun was light, and that's why I picked you, and don't worry, we got Tommy. We might be out with Vincent, but we got Tommy, and Tommy can help us. Now, Tommy goes and tells Ghost and Kanan what happens, and he's like, that damn Dre, we gotta get Dre, because I'm messed up with the Italians now, and that I know Dre was behind that. Now we know Dre was not behind that shooting that took place. That was something that was set up by Kanan and Ghost. So Ghost is still telling Tommy, listen, you with this daddy thing, and you still trust this man? Ghost is still like, I don't trust him. And Ghost is right not to trust him. And, that's causing a little friction between Tommy and Ghost. But we do see that Ghost hands Tommy this check so he can clean the money up, blah, 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 blah. And so we see Kanan still getting in Tommy's ear, because he's like, oh, you got to do everything through Ghost, blah, blah, blah. He's manipulating his way. That's what I said in this show. You can't trust anybody. Everybody has their own little agendas. Everybody's out for self. It's really good. Now, like I said, it is Tariq's birthday, and we see his mother shopping and preparing for the birthday. So she's going to get the cake from their usual spot. Normally she gets 2 cakes because they were twins. And she goes to get the cake, and she's got, what's his name, Silver, with her. And Silver is so corny. Like, he's all sprung and head over heels for Tasha, and telling her she needs to separate herself from Ghost and and just move in with him. Dude, I keep telling you, Tasha's not who you need to be with. You're all clean, you're all legal and on the right track. Leave them people alone. You don't want to get really involved in that. You're a lawyer. Leave her alone. Stop trying to play house with this girl. I just don't think it's a good idea. Anyway, we also see Ghost speaking to his son, Tariq. And Tariq is trying to get him to tell him the truth. He's like, Mom told me about your past. She told me what happened. He's like, well, she told her version of the story. I didn't get to tell mine. That was corny, Ghost. Be truthful to your child. Don't lie to him. Tell him. Yeah, I know you've made a better life for them, but I mean, the lion is not helping. Has the lion helped thus far? No, it has not. Let's talk about Kanan. Kanan's got his plan in place, and we see Kanan run up and meet this crackhead who was awesomely played by none other than the very talented. I'm a big fan of his music. How come I forgot his name? What's his name? Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar playing a crackhead who was very charismatic. And at first, Kanan didn't want to be bothered. He's like, get out of here, man. But then he's like, you know what? I can put him to use. It was a key word he said something about it. And he said, I can put him to use. So Kanan is using this crackhead to distract gang members and take them out one by one. And this is his way of taking down Dre and taking down those gangs and that crew, and just really manipulative. Really great scenes, because the crackhead, I forget what name they gave him, that was played by Kendrick Lamar. He was hilarious. He was likable. He was annoying. He was all of that all in one. And he was helping Kanan distract these folks so that Kanan can kill these folks. And what a great scene it was, where we saw where Kanan was about to pull the trigger on Kendrick Lamar's character, and the look on his face, he knew Kanan was about to kill him, and he turned to him and he started talking to him and telling him, you don't have any friends, do you? And you have no remorse, and who are you? What type of person are you? And it kind of showed a soft side to Kanan, because this is a dude that killed his own son, and he didn't kill the guy. And I'm glad he didn't kill the guy, because I would like to see this character in another episode. So shout outs to Kendrick Lamar. That character was hilarious, likable, and I'd like to see him in another episode. Who knows? Maybe they will, because they didn't kill him off. Thank God they didn't kill him off. But I liked that Kanan didn't kill him off. Kanan kind of got a little bit of a soft spot for this quirky crackhead, because that's what he was, a quirky crackhead. And we see Kanan give him the gun. He cleans it off, takes the bullets out, says, sell this gun. But that guy helped him, so it showed that, okay, Kanan ain't too ruthless, All right, now that I got that out of the way, let's move right along to the Queen Project. And that project, Tate, who this character, I can't stand him. I like Lorenz Tate as an actor. This character, Tate, crooked politician, I want them to handle him. I want Ghost to do something to him. Anyway, he's pulling his weight, throwing his weight around, and he's letting Ghost know, you know what, I'm picking Dre as the face of the Queen Project, blah, 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 blah. And we see Slimy Simon, remember Simon from last season, and he's like, well, we already have our black. I was like, wow, I can't believe he said that. That was funny. He was like, we already have our black, and now you want to get this black? This is just a younger version of the black guy we have, referring to Ghost. And Ghost is getting mad because Tate is like, well, this is who I chose, and this is who it's going to be. He's puffing his chest out. This is who I selected. He don't know that Ghost is not the one you want to play with like that. So anyway, Simon tells Ghost, Ghost, chill out. Use your brain, because you're cunning. You know how to get around this. You're going to figure out a way to get rid of this Dre guy. And Ghost does, and this was a funny moment, because what he did was, when Dre went to go to the club that he works at to speak to his superiors, Ghost is sitting there, and Ghost pulled up the non-compete clause, which means, as we know, Dre used to work at Truth Nightclub. Then he worked at their competitor. That's the place he's at now. Now, he was planning to host a fundraiser at the competitor's nightclub, which is the one he's currently running. But the problem with that is he signed a non-compete clause when he was working at Truth. So the new club is like, listen, Dre, we're going to have to fire you because we don't want any problems. We don't mess with non-compete clauses. So that was a clever way, and that's how he was able to get Dre fired from that nightclub. So now Dre cannot host the Queens Project. So they're going to now host the Queens Project back at Truth with Ghost being in charge. But not so fast, because what? Because Tate still invites Dre to the event, and Ghost is pissed off, and Ghost is, he's enraged. And while all of this is going on, remember, it's Tariq's birthday. So they're having this dry ass birthday party back at the house, and what's going on? Tasha's texting Silver, getting texts from Silver. The grandma's over there. She's like, who you on the phone with? She's like, nobody. Tariq is getting text messages from Kanan. And Tommy's sitting there. It's a really dry birthday party that's going on. But what did happen that I thought was interesting was Tommy takes Tariq out for a joyride. And, he says, I got a surprise for you. And he pulls him to the side and he schools him. He says, I know it was you that tipped off Dre about us coming after him. You overheard me at Raina's funeral saying that we were going to come get Dre, that we had Dre. Why did you do that? So he tells him, he helped me get revenge. He's so young and foolish. He says, because Dre helped me get revenge, so I was looking out for him. And which Tommy says, typical, only for your agenda, selfish, pretty much like your father. So I thought that was very interesting. I was like, good scene right there. Meanwhile, back at the party, Ghost is getting drunk and getting pissed off because Dre is still there and things are not going his way. Now, they met their quota. They got the money, the things that they need, but Ghost is pissed off because Dre is there. A little too drunk, and he roughs up Tate, which I enjoyed, but you did it in front of all the decent folk. You were supposed to take Tate in the back of the club somewhere and bust him upside his head, not in front of everybody. You can't show everybody how hood you are. You were supposed to reel that in, bust him up in the alley somewhere, with just you and him. So Tate's flexing his muscles like, you don't know who you effing with. Tate, no, you don't know who you effing with. So that didn't go well. So when we see Ghost coming home drunk as a skunk, and he comes with his gift for Tariq, which I don't care that it's your birthday. I don't think you deserve any gifts, but he comes home with a gift for him. Tariq is being totally disrespectful because he's pissed off because he feels like his father keeps lying to him and won't tell him who he really is. Oh, this came from your drug dealer money, blah, blah, blah. And Ghost is like, I just came from a fundraiser for Raina and a legit business. They both have points here. I see Ghost's point where Ghost is like, listen, don't worry about what I did in the past. I'm trying to make a better life for you. You living in a penthouse. I ain't grew up in no penthouse. I see what Ghost is doing here. But I understand Tariq's frustration too, because everything you told me is a lie. Who are you, Dad? What's going on? We're criminals. Come on. And they had a great scene where he pretty much told him, he was saying, Raina only cared about the gifts and all that. Really great scene. And then the father and son get into their tussle. Ghost is too drunk to whoop his ass, so he's falling and stumbling all over the floor. Tasha comes out, and she's telling Ghost, listen, you need to go. And Ghost is like, this is my house. That's something I would have said. This is my house. And she's like, no, you need to go. You go now. So he leaves the place drunk. Funny scene to me. I thought it was funny. And then we see Tasha and Tariq have a scene together where Tariq is telling her, listen, you don't have to take the blame for me. And he asked her, do you think that I should have died instead of Raina? And she, of course, just walks away. But earlier in the episode, at the party, the police came over to this dry birthday party. And they were saying they had new evidence where they were saying something about the gun and the ballistics, and they wanted to check the gun. But remember, Tasha, she let them know. She said, oh, I reported that gun missing. I'm sorry, I reported that gun stolen. And this pissed off Silver. Silver calls her into the room. Why are you still lying for Ghost? You know that Ghost is the one that killed that officer, isn't he? Ghost is the one that did it, blah, blah, blah. This is why I say, Silver, I hope that's his name. Silver, you need to fall back. You need to leave her alone. She's not the one for you. You all go find somebody else. He's annoying too. Can they get rid of him too? It's a lot of people on this show I want dealt with, because I'm like, you falling head over heels. Leave that girl alone. Leave Tasha and her family alone. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. Alrighty. We are getting down to it. I think we need to cover Angela, Tommy, and Teresi. So let's deal with Angela. Angela is trying to keep covering her tracks. Tamika, her boss, has asked her a few questions because they want to know what's going on. You know, her colleagues are telling her things that, you know, Angela's not who you think she is. And so she questions Angela herself. This is causing Angela to, you know, shaking her boots a little bit. So she comes up with a bit of a plan, and she reaches out to Tommy, and her and Tommy may be able to help each other. That was interesting. There's a funny scene where Tommy's at her house, and she's like, you know, he tells her something like, oh, I liked it better when your plant was over there, which shows that he's been watching her. And she's like, get out of my house. That's funny. So it's funny how two people that clearly don't like each other may now have to deal with each other, because she revealed to him about that tracker being on his car, and he asked for it back. So he has a plan too. And we see his conversation with his daddy, Teresi, and his father says something that turned me off. Oh, it's not snitching if you snitching on somebody you have no allegiance to, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I think that kind of made a light bulb go off in Tommy's head to know, you know, maybe I can't trust this man, you know. Maybe I can't trust this man. So I think I've covered all the points of what I wanted to talk about in this episode, and I can't wait until next week's episode. Oh, I'm leaving something out. We see Ghost leaving the house. He goes to see the pastor. He talks to the pastor. And at the end of the episode, what does he do? He goes to Angela's house. So, you know what? I guess in the next episode, they'll be knocking the boots. You know how that goes. But yeah, that's it. I thought it was a really good episode. Great performances, well written, and I cannot wait to see what happens. I say this everywhere. Can't wait to see what happens next week. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on tonight's episode and what you think is going to happen this season. It's a really solid season thus far. All right, that's it. I'm out. Y'all be blessed.